Hi, folks. I'm Bruce Paulson with Determined Solutions Search Marketing. And today I'm just going to show you how you can use Google Search Console to find information on your website that maybe you can use to better your website, find out how you can get more searches, find out maybe some things that are working, some things that aren't. So this isn't going to be a complete exhaustive video on how to use Search Console. It's going to be short to show you the few things I use Search Console for when I'm working on my affiliate sites or my client sites. And so it's like I operate by the 80-20 rule. I look for the 20% of stuff and fix that. That's going to move the needle 80% of the way there. So I don't fix everything. That's just not what I do. And so this is how I use Search Console. And I'll just show you the few things I look for that tend to move the needle. And let's see if I can minimize this. Nope. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. So this is my Google Search Console for my agency website, Determined Solutions. Now, this isn't the perfect example because I stopped working on this site at least 2 years ago. I've got a few blog posts on there since then, but I don't care about the site. All I use it for is a business card, essentially. I just use it I funnel people here to fill out my contact form. So I'm not using it like most people use websites, like a billboard to get traffic. So this isn't the perfect example, but I can't show you a client site, and I'm not going to show my affiliate sites. But I can show you this site because I'm not doing anything to get it to the top of Google searches. So it's not the perfect example, but it's pretty good. So anyway, so here we are in Google Search Console for my site, determinedsolutions.com. So here is the performance report. So we go to open report. And so there's a lot of cool information in here that's not too complicated. So one of the things I like to do when I'm working on client sites, if they come to me and they've had traffic go down, or they need more traffic, they need more visitors to their website, or they had a lot and it went down, I'll come here. And so this shows impressions and this shows clicks. So just to let you know real quick, let's look at dog collars, right? So when you do a search, these are impressions, right? But you don't get a click until someone clicks on it. So there's always going to be more impressions than clicks, but you have to have an impression before you can get a click. So that's what that is. But so I come here, and if I want to analyze a trend, I go up here to the date. You can change the date. So you can see how you've been doing this month, or the last 28 days this month, as far as I'm concerned. And then what a lot of times I do is I just pull it out. I want to see what's been going on for the last 16 months. And then it's kind of noisy, right? So you can back out the clicks, and let me just look at impressions. And so you can see back in April 30th of 2020, I was getting 3,600, or that day I got 3,600 impressions. And you can see as time it went down, especially here, that was a decent little drop. And so now I'm getting 1,100, 1,000 impressions, whatever. So that's a trend. So if this was a site that I'm trying to push to the top of Google searches, trying to get found, and this happened, so I've got a date here, May 16th, May 17th, I had 1,600 impressions, and then I dropped. That's significant, right? 800, that's a drop in half in a couple days. And then it stays down and it goes down. So I would look at my website and see, did I make a change on the website? Was there an update that I need to know about that Google did to the algorithm? What's going on? In this case, I don't care. But if I did care about this site, like if this was a client site, this would give me a lot of information. But if this was a client site, I'd be like, okay, so there's a trend here, right? From a year and a half ago to here, things have gone down steadily. So this would tell me that there wasn't just one thing, it's just like a gradual decline. So there's probably many things to fix on the website. And what you can also do is you can go here to clicks, and I got 7 clicks on the website back in July 2020. And now there's like no, and this is all organic traffic. That's another reason why I really like Search Console. It's not referral traffic. So it's not like traffic from Facebook or YouTube, LinkedIn, and it's just how your website gets found in Google searches. So that's why it's so cool and helpful. But as you can see, like there's like no traffic to the website, which is fine. But if this was a client site, then like this would be a problem. And what I'd want to see is, once I start working on a site, I want to see these numbers slowly grinding up to the top right, like slowly, it'll go up and down, obviously, but going top right. And my client sites, my affiliate sites, that's what happens. But I stopped caring. I care about this. Like, I don't want it to go away, but I stopped caring about ranking this site a long time ago. And as you can see, that's what happens when you don't keep your website up. And clicks, right? So you're always going to see impressions way more than clicks, but you want to see the clicks follow the impressions. And obviously you want an upward trend. On my site, like I said, not the best example, but you're still seeing the trend, right? There's a slow decline in clicks from Google. So Search Console can help you see some trends. And the default, I think, is usually the last 3 months. And so this is stuff I look at. Like I go here, I want to see, do I see a trend? Because sometimes it's just flat and I don't see a trend. But when you pull that information out, you usually do see a trend. And here's some cool stuff. Okay, so you're not going to see this. So this is one of my plugins. So these 2 columns, these 3 columns don't exist in a normal person's Search Console. So disregard these. And this is weird. Let me see. So can I just refresh? Okay. So disregard these because you're not going to see I have a plugin that's interfering with that. But what you will see is clicks and impressions, right? And so this will tell you for the last 3 months in queries, right? So like dog collar, that's a query. So it'll show you what you're showing up for in Google. And that's super helpful, right? Because you can see things like, am I getting found for what I want to get found for? Or am I getting found for something I didn't think I would be getting found for? And hey, that's great. Maybe I can go optimize those pages and get even more of that traffic. Or maybe you're like, that totally shouldn't. Maybe you find a page that's indexed, that's getting traffic and showing up for something you don't want to, and maybe you take it out of the index. There's lots of things you can do here. So queries, right, for the last 3 months, and then we could go here to the last 28 days. And you can sort, upwards, or you can sort by impressions. So if we go over here to impressions, so I have gotten the most impressions for SEO solutions. That's great. I do SEO, but I've gotten 0 clicks. So let's see what I've gotten clicks for. And in the last 28 days, all SEO company in Seattle, SEO agency Seattle. Okay, great. SEO, that's whatever. So those are things you can look at. And then, so queries is fun, right? Lots of information in there. And then you can come over here to pages and do essentially the same thing. So where have I gotten the most clicks in the last 28 days? What page has gotten the most clicks from organic Google searches? And that would be my Charlotte SEO page. And then Baltimore SEO, Seattle, Shopify. Okay, so that's cool. But then, so you can come to the specific page, right? And then you go down here and it's showing you just information from the page. And then you can go back to queries and you can look and see what that page is getting clicks and impressions for. So my Shopify SEO page is getting queries. It's showing up in the search results for Shopify SEO training, best Shopify course, Shopify SEO course. So, hey, that's pretty cool. And so maybe there's something I want to show up that's down here at the bottom that I want to show up a little bit better for, because look, there's a lot of stuff like the 5 best Shopify courses, best SEO for Shopify store. So maybe I want to show up for something better that's down here, and I would like to do it, show up better. So I go back to my page and try and optimize it for one of these lower searches. So there's all types of stuff you can do, and you can do a million other things with Search Console, but this is pretty much what I use it for. I come here, I see what pages are getting the most traffic, and then if a page I want to rank is not getting that much traffic, so like this page, why owning your brand online is so important for dentists. So I'll come to this page and I'll go to queries and I'll be like, well, is it showing up for what I think it should show up for? Like Sterling Dental Eye. I don't even know what that's not relevant, right? So maybe I need to work on that page better. In this case, it's a blog post that I don't care if it shows up, but most people do care and are trying to get more traffic to their website. So Search Console has a lot of great information. But it's just like analytics, you can get way too deep in the weeds, but this is where I stick to, right? This stuff up here. And then of course it does, if there is like a big problem, you'll often get a warning here in Search Console. But another thing with the warnings, there's plenty of warnings that you get that don't matter, but then they also look just like the warnings you get that do matter. So that you just learn that through experience, but lots of good information here. If you want to figure out how people are finding you and you have Search Console hooked up to your website, it will tell you right here. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them as best I can. All right. Thanks a lot.